Chapter 4.
Alright.
Woo! Off Kickstarter, now back to this.
Yeah. So after our boss, after our boss, it's time for more peril.
What? They're here already?
Instead of it being, oh, it's time to prove our worth, it's now time to go fight the Bahamutan Empire.
Yeah.
Or at least this guy who looks like a Power Rangers villain of the week.
I don't blame you.
That gun.
He looks like something Haley would be wearing if it was an offering in 40.
Yeah. Also, the fact of that gun looks just like the Quantosaurus Rex gun from Time Force, from Power Rangers Time Force.
Goodness.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's the bit that I went to earlier last part and it told me no yet.
Yeah, now you can go through there. By the way, that was a random Mandragora head that just popped up there, I think.
Yep.
Rain! Long! Perfect timing! We were actually just on our way to see you.
There's Tama.
Hi, Tama.
If they've established a camp near our gates, then clearly they must intend
Yeah, so...
once and for all.
Yeah, go ahead.
So,
No, you go.
Seems to me.
Now, this is one of those ones where it's like, really?
what do you propose we do?
We should take a fight to them.
Time to go fight an empire.
Well said, but as things stand,
Also, the fact of that there's a nice little game... There's a lot of gameplay mechanics they introduced within the first, 7 chapters of the game before they stop telling you stuff.
Rain will sneak up on their boss and take
I
Yep,
hate
yep.
that they waste that much. Go ahead, Hal, sorry.
Is it
No, you just said
really
yeah.
that simple? Well,
Yeah.
he may not exactly
Yep.
look it, but Lun's pretty good in a fight.
Well, considering, you
He
know,
used to get picked on for being
this
such a
is...
pipsqueak.
This is one of those things where it's just...
Well, I
They
might
they
have
put
made
a
up the
lot
pipsqueak part,
into
but
trying to get the
he
players used to the
definitely did
mechanics,
pick it up.
considering
I think
this is
that
a
maybe
very...
The other kids were a little creeped out
This
by
game
our
is unique
arms.
in a sense, but I just feel it like it just bogs the pace too low.
We were always kind
Well,
of
also the
proud that
fact
we
that this
looked
game
like
is ridiculously easy.
because it meant we were just like our mom.
That too.
I haven't played the Nightmare mode yet, but this game is pretty ridiculously easy.
Let's talk more about Long getting picked on.
No, yeah, because I think I played standard.
With the right amount of funding in the game, you can pretty much just win a good chunk of the battles by using only elemental items.
I basically just hoarded them.
Like,
Still find a boss.
well, again, one of the big speedrun strats is selling off pretty much every item except for elemental stone, or except for elemental items, and just kill off. You can pretty much win a good portion of the fight by just using elemental items. There's at least 5 of them you use at any time.
Are you willing to trust us?
My question is though, what's the record speed run for this game?
I think 3 hours 21 minutes last I checked.
Well, dang.
Yeah, pretty much a good chunk of this game's dialogue can get skipped pretty quickly. Or it's like you can skip a good portion of this game.
What a weird thing to remember.
There are some specific sequences, though, that require specific timing to pause to skip it, because they have, what I call the Kingdom Hearts 1 Final Mix effect of, they're just specific points in the cutscene that you can only skip, instead of it just being at the very beginning of it.
Yeah. Are you just checking something here, or?
Oh, did you cut out, Mirage Board stuff, or...?
Yeah, what you didn't actually see there was I was putting points to the Mirage boards, because I cut it all that out, because that'd be watching me fiddle about with menus.
Oh, don't worry, in Final Fantasy X, I'm gonna leave in every single time I go to the Sphere Grid, which is every 10 minutes.
Oh
Oh,
god.
don't
No.
do that.
No, that is a pain.
When the two of you stormed the field.
Now this guy's a little important.
A little bit.
Well, yeah, he did get a name title of his own.
That and the fact of that he's blue compared to the rest of the Cornelian soldiers.
I think he's like the captain of the guard, per
So-
se.
I think so.
Yeah, but he... Yeah, I think there's something else that goes with it, but Yeah, this dungeon was one of the ones I was just like,
Where's the goblin king?
Up on that hill. Come on.
I quite like this dungeon mostly for all the stuff that's going on in the background of it. If you pay
Yeah.
attention to the background,
It
it's
is.
quite cool.
It's entertaining.
right. What I do praise about this game's dungeon is that it's always this different locale and never copy paste. There might be some here and there, but I never notice it. Oh,
By the
gosh.
way, this is a full-scale war happening, and we're just watching chibi figures punch each other.
I would say that's a comedy show.
This is the Tales of Symphonia effect, where it's hard to take this seriously
According to the
when everything is all
Vanguard's
cute and
reports,
chibi.
It impairs your eyesight and causes your weapon attacks.
Oh
to
hey,
lose
look
more
at that!
fluid.
We just found out your dad's about to die. As you just as Lloyd still has the same chibi face that he had at the beginning of the game.
People are dying. It's a full-scale war, and they're all chibi.
Yeah. I just killed this guy. I just killed this goblin behind me. Where's Goblin Slayer when you need him?
Oh gosh. I haven't watched the rest of the anime yet.
That
To be fair.
that fight there was just a couple of mandatory goals, so I skipped it.
Hmm.
Ah.
Sadly, unless you're grinding or you just know how to work the Mirage board, you're not getting any large Mirages for a little while.
Yep.
Yeah.
Not until part 6 anyway.
Yeah. I think the earliest you can get even a thing that can quickly turn into a large Mirage is like Black Knack and Baby Hemoth. Which, by the way,
You might think
Huh?
you might think that, but well, you'll see in part 6.
all right. Again, that's just like off the top of my head. I haven't like, this is one of those games where I don't grind. I just kill whatever's in my way and get going.
I had to really grind at the end because I was having difficulty, but that was just me.
This thing seems awfully familiar.
Ah, you left this one in.
What are those
Well, yeah, this
changes?
is
Yeah,
a new
because this is
mechanic.
a brand new,
Beholden to must be close.
this is a brand new fight.
What?
Yeah.
B.O.?
Goblins. So yeah, you probably noticed they got dragged in by chains. That means they can't be they can't be imprisoned until you kill the leader of whoever is making these chains come out of the sky.
That's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Did your PS4 just like freeze for a second there?
No,
No?
Oh.
there are
cool.
frame drops.
What did-
There are
Yeah.
very noticeable frame
Ah.
drops.
There are frame drops, but that's more the share, the PS4 share causing that.
Yeah, that
Well-
makes sense because you're on the vanilla PS4, right?
I'll take that silence as a yes.
No, I'm not exactly 100% sure. Oh, no, wait, it is vanilla PS4, what am I saying?
No, the vanilla PS4. Well, even on PS4 Pro, there's still frame drops a lot. Even without PS4 share or anything, there's just a lot of frame drops.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And then on PC, the
You
game
won't be
is-
seeing many.
Yeah.
You won't be seeing many. You won't be seeing many fights in this area because most of them are just goblins.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they're just goblins. Hey, look, there it is.
That's just
Don't you
ethers.
just love the camera for that?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Hopefully. Oh no, wait. You can't go to the Coliseum yet. Never mind.
No, I think that's like later down the line, right?
Cause in
Next part.
okay. I was gonna say because there is a new Mirage that's hiding in the Coliseum.
Is this Maxima version only?
Yes.
Gosh darn it!
It is a Maxima only Mirage, but there is one hiding in the Coliseum. But yeah, we're not at the Coliseum yet. That's later.
Yeah, we'll talk
And
about it.
and there's a very special mirage
Yeah.
at us 3 as players of 14 will recognise right away. But
Yeah.
that's for next part.
Yeah. There's
Oh, look!
And here's our first baby Hemoth.
yeah. Which, by the way, you can fuck this. You can fuck up and not get that baby behemoth. I did.
Yeah,
I
if
think
you
I
kind of attack the baby behemoth first, you're not getting it. However, if you attack the soldier first, you get a chance to get it.
Yeah, emphasis on chance. You can still fuck up and not get the baby behemoth. Which, by the way, you
Yeah.
want baby.
That-
If you're going for like a mostly physical setup, you want that baby behemoth.
Yep. That
Yeah.
baby behemoth will be a good.
He is a good early to mid game Mirage.
Yeah. Oh, it's so...
Yeah, he's just a little baby behemoth. He's got anger issues.
he's a pup.
Also, an ability that you should be getting later, or that like I think you should be getting based on Mirage board setups, is Subdue. It is beyond helpful
Oh.
because what it does is that it basically works like the Pokemon move False Swipe, where it does a lot of damage, but it ensures that the Mirage only has 1 HP left.
Yeah.
Imprisoning failed.
Again.
It's gonna keep doing that because this is also I think the rarity of the Mirage itself affects the drop rate at which you can obtain it, or affects the imprism rate based on what level of Prismtunity you've reached.
True.
Yep.
Baby Behemoth is, I believe, an uncommon Mirage, so he has a lower imprism chance if you're not at stage 3 Prismtunity.
Good job.
I've played this game a lot.
And I now have a
Yeah.
baby. And I now have a baby behemoth in the party.
Fuck yeah. Which now that's your second. That's now your second medium sized. Buddy.
What did you call this one? What did you call this one? I need to see this.
Let's find out. Death.
I tried to call it. Did I
Deathmaster.
get it on?
No, it
No,
only
I
allows
didn't get
10.
it on.
It only allows 10 characters.
I wanted to call it Deathmaster after another person from LP Zone, but I couldn't find.
So,
So
you
I
have
called
MGM.
it, and after his, I called it after him. The rest was MGM,
Alright.
Majestic
MGM.
Goatman.
Majestic Goatman.
Wait, isn't MGN also like from Looney Tunes, like the bombs or stuff like that?
That's Acme.
Oh, right.
No, MGM. MGM is a brand of. I think it's a label of. It's actually a hotel in Vegas.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
So yeah, now he has a little baby behemoth.
Look at this! Look at this nonsense!
Hey, I like it.
Adorable.
I like it. It's great.
And it's adorable.
And
Are you okay?
now for a either really annoying fight or a very quick fight. Let's find out.
Indeed. Let's fight.
These are so those two goblins in the back are new goblins. Called one's a red captain and one's a red guard. Basically take out any goblin guards first because they have the ability cover, which makes it annoying to kill very specific enemies because they just cover for their hits.
Yeah, seriously.
And Triumphant Shout just increases their basic attacks. And also, we can't imprison these ones because they're still under the effect of the Bahamutan soldier.
Yeah, we will be getting any goblins at this point.
Yeah.
I mean, the Bahamutan soldiers, I don't think they pop up that much throughout the whole game.
For the first, after this chapter, they kind of backseat for up until like chapter 10.
Yeah. That's what I figured, because it's like they don't pop up that often until like near end
Yeah.
or like the middle, and that's just not fun.
Oh yeah, another problem with this game too. Sometimes it takes like up to a minute for conversations to load after battle,
Sarah was here?
Mm-hmm.
and you can't move during those conversations. So you just have to sit there and hopefully the conversations load quick.
It's possible.
Yeah.
Yep.
We must focus on the task at hand. Don't worry about me.
Oh.
You two should press
And
on.
again, this is another one of those you can't skip this.
We'll find
You
a
have to
bahamutan
watch it.
soldier in charge. He
Yep.
leads the goblins.
Cool. Let's do this.
Yeah, this is one of those ones where it's like, then you get into some of these fights and it's like,
Oh yeah. Now they're basically holding a goblin hostage. Again, this is a full-scale war going on against little chibi people.
I'm sorry, but that's a comedy show. Put this on Comedy Central. This is hilarious.
I believe this is one of the camera scenes that yeah, it is. Oh, this is great. Look at all of them.
Oh,
Look at them
that-
trying to fight.
The cutest whatever's happening in the background.
Yeah. Look at this. And two new Oh yeah. That's actually another big gameplay element too. Enemies can stack too.
It's why I left this one then.
Yeah.
So they're stacking.
Uh-huh.
yeah, because that's always a pain though. When you want a Pacific Mirage and they're stacked.
Yeah. It honestly, there's only a handful. If I'm correct, I think there's only a few Mirages that you can only get via a stack. But they're not. There's not a lot of them. But I believe you can pretty much get any Mirage in this game without having to find an enemy that has them on a stack.
Yeah. It's just still a pain when you go into the ones that do.
Because remember, just as much as they share stats with your Mirages, share stats with you, enemy Mirage, the exact same thing happens to enemy Mirages, but they still get the same weaknesses, just like we do. That was a weird jump cut.
I was messing about with the Mirage boards again.
Ah.
Also, again, they have two more held up at Spear Point. Also, yeah, you shouldn't have to really be dealing with the Prism case this early in the game unless you're like me and you're just hoarding every single Mirage you run into. But at that
Or
point,
you're me and need the HP really bad.
by the way, 100% getting every Mirage in this game is a pain in the ass, especially for the ones you
Yeah.
actually want. Like you can straight up capture dragons in this, and the dragons are not fun to deal with. Also, yeah, there's just a giant chibi goblin.
Are you all right, Highness?
Yes. Thank you.
Hard to take this serious when it's just this giant Funko Pop against two smaller Funko Pops.
I don't doubt that.
Oh god damn it! Why'd you have to say that?
Because that's.
Oh, now this is where it gets interesting.
Hey, Warrior of Light, how you showed up out of nowhere? And now it's time to kick ass.
And this is where they get into the next part of the next mechanic of the game.
Champions.
The reason why everybody loves this.
Champions.
I don't think it's introduced quite yet.
It's not fully utilized until after chapter 5, I think.
Yeah.
For now, you just summon a champion. Or you awoke the power of that guy to awaken his champion power.
I do. That light would explain it. Good captain. From this day on.
And yeah, so he's just the Warrior of Light.
Mm-hmm. This is based on the very first Final Fantasy, right?
Kind of.
Legends of Cornelia.
Basically, Final Fantasy 1 had 4 nameless guys, and obviously for purposes of branding a main character, they just kind of bunched him into one guy.
Mm.
And for the purposes of, like, concept art, it's just one guy. And that's the one guy.
Become this realm's champion.
Wait, a medium?
Um,
Champion?
so yeah, warrior.
Well,
Of,
Arise at critical
This is the
points
War
each
of
turn,
Light,
where
not the
you
Warrior of
awaken
Light that we're
unexpectedly
used
to a
to.
miraculous
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
not the warrior of light we play. Not the warrior of light we play. But this one's the original warrior of light, because
Right.
I want to say he first starred in Dissidia, but I think he existed as a character before Dissidia.
I think it was in a side game. I don't remember what.
Well, I mean, that's what Dissidia is, but I'm just trying to remember when
I'm
they
trying
gave
to
us that
think.
concept.
I think it might actually be Dissidia. That's when they started using this particular character as the kind of mascot for one.
Yeah, because they have Garland, but it was, but we needed a pro tag, so again, they just bunched up all 4 characters into one character, so
Hey,
we just
what's
have
new?
one
Like
Warrior
I
of Light.
said, we don't remember all that much about who we are. Hold on.
Still a badass design, and actually,
It's actually not bad. That's not what I wanted.
well, there's our big goblin,
And of course, it is an outfit in 14.
of course,
Oh, that is true. We do have that.
for the glamour whores.
Please stand back, Princess Sarah.
This guy must be their boss.
And now it's boss time against Giant Goblin and Bahamutan Commander.
Rain, I'm shocked. I don't pick on people.
Get rid of the Bahamutan Commander first, because he's a pain in the arse.
He really is, because all Bahamutans have this ability called, I think, like Double Thrust or something like that.
Need him anyway.
Which, by the way, this is a boss fight, so you can't capture the Giant Goblin.
What do you think?
No, you cannot catch him at all, even if this soldier's gone.
Yeah. If you see, you can see the chain, whatever Tama called it, the barrier. So yeah, even if you do kill the Bahamutian commander, you can't get Giant Goblin. It's just recommended to get rid of the commander because he just has a lot more annoying physical abilities compared to...
annoying.
Yeah. You know, like that, where he's trying to... yeah, so that's, I guess, another thing we didn't talk about earlier because it didn't come up until then. This is Wobble status. This is a status specifically for World of Final Fantasy. Basically, based on how your stacks are set up, will affect the wobble strength of your characters, meaning how many physical hits you can take or abilities that inflict wobble status, how many you can take before you fall over. In the case of I believe Rain's setup, it was a weak stack setup. But yeah, when you're wobbled over, all of your party members will immediately tip over, and they're stunned for a few seconds before you can stack them back together into the main stack.
That is right. That is completely correct.
All you got?
That, or you use a wobble stopper.
Yeah,
Which-
I'm thinking.
Huh?
Yeah, I couldn't. Sorry, I was just looking up when they started using Warrior of Light. I think Dissidia was the one. I think they needed a representation of one. And they didn't know how to present it, so they used one character.
They used one guy.
Yep.
But yeah, in the case of Hal's setup, because the biggest problem with having a stack with Copper Gnome is that Copper Gnome doesn't really stick to anything else but Mini Golem, so a good chunk of your stacks with Copper Gnome are either weak to average.
Yeah.
Same goes for Baby Behemoth until he becomes a Behemoth.
Yeah, I never knew how to make them into Behemoth and all that.
Yeah, that's Mirage board stuff, and you also have to talk to Seraphi.
Oh gosh.
But yeah, that's kind of the other thing you have to be wary of when you're setting up specific stacks is the wobble strength. Obviously, you want to try to go for a high wobble strength, but if you want specific abilities, you're gonna have to take the risk of getting wobble status easy.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, you can hit other people's stacks with wobble status too. It's either, again, you can use a physical attack or an ability that specifically is designed to inflict wobble status.
I think it's called Wobble. I don't remember.
That's what the status is, exactly.
Yeah.
And
That's what I'm thinking.
and that's what wobble stoppers use to. That's what a wobble stopper stops is wobble. Also, you'll know you're about to. The status of wobble status on you. If it's yellow, then you're at risk, and if you're red, you're about to fall over, and then it'll break after one or two more hits. Again, I've messed around with stack setups a lot in this game.
Yeah, I was more of a, I picked my favorites, I'll go at it, and then I messed with it when it came to a boss fight, something like that. That's the kind of player I am.
Honestly, the more stable stacks in the game are with tiny Lawn and Rain.
Yeah.
Mostly because
we'll probably start seeing them more in part 7 once I record. For reasons that will become cool in part 6.
Yeah. But yeah, once you start actually getting large, once you start getting large mirages, it's actually more honestly, it's more recommended to have small Lawn and Rain than it is to big ones. Mostly because a good chunk of stack setups are a pain in the ass with large Lawn and Rain. I also think it's based on weight as well. Where like the heavier it is, heavier your stack setup is, the higher chance you have at getting hit. The weaker your wobble status is.
Yeah. Also, these guys don't become important until like chapter 10 or 11.
She doesn't become important until chapter 15.
Right.
And these two Power Rangers looking motherfuckers.
And the funny thing is, some of these knights are actually based on Final Fantasy VI. Some of them.
Yeah. But yeah, these Power Ranger villain looking motherfuckers don't become important until much later. Or yeah, they don't become important until much later. And
yeah, they're foreshadowed at some point, but it's like, really?
I'm still confused on that gold looking guy, where he's from, because he looks incredibly familiar, but
Zone Seek. Final Fantasy VI.
Is that Zone Seek?
Yep.
Oh, all right.
Between parts, I'd urge you to look at an image of Zone Seek from Final Fantasy VI, and you'll see right away that it is based on Zone Seek.
I'm just gonna look it up now.
Yeah.
Zone Seeker. Yep, that is Zone Seek. That is Zone Seeker.
I will tell you right now, is a pain in the butt when, after chapter 10 or so.
He also has 12 too many wings.
And that is another part done. We'll see for nothing but Colosseum stuff next episode.
Yeah.